Hi, it's Chris, and welcome back. Here I am with our Facebook ads account, and I'm going to go ahead and walk you through setting up a campaign. So I helped you in the previous video set up two fan pages for products that we're going to promote. Let's go ahead and start with the tracker campaign. Now, the cool part about this is you're going to be able to follow along with a winning campaign. This is a campaign that is actually working for us. Now, I want you to keep one thing in mind. With all the people going through this training in the course and everyone starts to promote the same product, you do create, competition against each other. So what you want to do is really just apply what I teach you and go and test it with other different offers. But you're more than welcome to, to test this particular offer to get your feet wet. But if you test it and you wonder why you're not getting results, it's probably because there's a lot of people out there doing the same exact thing. So let's go ahead and set that up. Very simple. This is it. So we're going to do a direct link campaign because this is a very clean campaign. Facebook likes it. It's an e-commerce product. And here's what it looks like. There's the landing page. So we'll go ahead and grab our link here. Now you can go ahead and put this through the tracker as well. With Facebook, the only type of tracking you really, it's a lot different than PPC. You'd basically just create a tracking link. For example, if you were testing desktop only, you could just put in desktop. So for example, I'm going to go over here to ClickMagick. And this is for setting up your tracking. We'll go over here to link. Okay, and we'll grab our little contextual link here. And you just copy it in. And this is just an example, like let's just say we're going to create a new link. If you were just doing, desktop only Facebook, then you could easily do that as well, just by doing, just typing that in. And then you just put, Facebook desktop, and then you'd put in your tracking URL. So that's the way that you would track it and create the link. If you don't want to go through a tracker, you could just direct link in Facebook as well, since we're starting out very small. So here's the ads manager. You're going to want to go into Power Editor. That's where I recommend creating all your ads. And here I am in Power Editor. We're going to create our first campaign. And we're going to go ahead and name this Tracker. Now what we're going to do is we're going to end up setting up 3 ads at $5 a piece. So whenever you're testing a product, especially with CPA, you usually want to set up 3 ads. And those 3 ads are either going to have different interests or you're going to use different placements. Each ad is going to be different from the last one. And you're just going to really look for what's giving you the best results or what's cheap. Those are the things you usually look for at the beginning. What's giving you the best engagement. So Tracker, we're going to do clicks to website on this one. We may do some PPE ads too. And here's just an overview on the types of ads. There's clicks to website. There's app engagements, which are only used for apps. Event responses. You won't use these too much. You'll probably mostly use clicks to website, post page engagement, and website conversions. If you're doing a video, then you're going to use video views. But these are the most common: website conversions, post page engagement, and clicks to website. So we're going to do clicks to website with this awesome campaign here, Tracker. We'll go ahead and just set this up, click create. Okay, perfect. So this is good here, and we're just going to go up to step number 2. Now it takes about 3 days, but it takes about 48 hours to 72 hours total for Facebook to optimize your campaign. So you only want to start at a $5 budget. You never want to go in and start spending a lot per day, because Facebook just takes time to optimize and find your perfect audience, even though you're telling Facebook, hey, my audience likes this. So looking at the product, Tracker is, you have to look and see who your target audience is. Tracker is for people who like technology, but Tracker can also be very broad, because everybody has probably had the situation where they've lost their keys, and just about everybody has a smartphone. So it could also be a very, very broad target, meaning that we're going to create this first ad broad. We're going to go completely broad. We're going to do United States. Now this campaign also works in Canada, the UK. It works in a lot of different countries. And we're going to move the age up a little bit higher though, because we want to get more buyers. Usually people in the younger range don't buy so much. And we want people who understand technology, so let's just cut it off right around 40. And we're going to go completely broad. This is a little bit weird, a little bit different, but you're going to just leave the detailed targeting off in this first ad. Because basically what you're doing is you're telling Facebook, hey, I want you to find people who are going to click my ad and engage with it and potentially buy the product. And what I usually do is for placements, I usually take off audience network. You can definitely use Instagram because that's mobile. You can leave Instagram on for for this type of thing as well. Mobile newsfeed, I would leave the right column in the newsfeed on. You want as much exposure as possible. So I just took off the audience network because that's usually like third-party apps. Usually the quality isn't there, but it's up to you if you want to leave that on or not. And then we're going to do link clicks to your website. We're going to leave everything at the defaults. We're going to go over to step 3 for our tracker campaign. And this is through the Power Editor once again. And we're going to choose our Facebook page that we're going to advertise off of. Okay, so we'll set that up. And you don't even have to have your own Instagram account because it's going to create one for you. Basically what it's doing right now. And we're going to design it so it's going to want your website URL, which the website URL is going to be your actual link that goes to the offer. So let's paste that in there. Oops, put in the wrong thing. Destination URL is what you want right there. And then for your text, we're gonna be adding some images as well. So let's go get an image for our campaign. And it actually populated one already. We're in a carousel ad right now. Let's move that over to just an image with a video, or just an ad image or video, because we just want to do that. Let's see, clear that out. Give it just a second. It should populate an image for us. Perfect. Okay, so that's actually a good image. This is the one that we want anyways. Track your belongings with your smartphone, and then your display URL. You can change that to www.tracker.com, something like that, right? And then for your text, then this is where you're going to come up with some creative text. We're going to say never lose your phone or keys again. Track anything with your smartphone. And let's just fix that. Then we're going to do a call to action, which you always want to tell your users what to do. You always do a call to action. So we're going to tell our users click below to order now. Let's see. Yep, perfect, because this comes up here. Click below to order now. So you're telling them that there's going to be a price involved. You're not telling them how much. So they're going in and they should expect that they're going to have to pay. So click to order now. It gave us a default of lost it, find it, tracker helps you find anything. That's good. We'll leave that at the default. And then you can always change it if you want to, which would be your headline and your description. I'm going to leave it at the default. Your call to action can say either learn more, or you can do, sign up or shop now. I'll just go ahead and put it at shop now. You can choose any of those that you want to. And that's it. That's really basically it as far as setting up the website clicks. If you're using your ClickMagick link, and I showed you in the previous training in the Bing section, if you're using your ClickMagick link, the pixel is going to track on ClickMagick's end. So you'll be able to track everything through ClickMagick. Remember, when we start getting sales, it's going to post back to ClickMagick, so you'll be able to see. That's why I would recommend creating a ClickMagick link for each ad that you do. So if you're doing only desktop placements, which we are going to do here in a minute, you want to create a ClickMagick link that says desktop tracker, desktop tracker, right? That way that's your only desktop traffic. If you're trying to test Instagram by itself, because here's what happens right now. When we tell Facebook to use Instagram, the right column ads and the newsfeed ads in the desktop, what it's going to do is it's going to basically put a bunch of ads out there, and if it starts to realize that the cheapest clicks are coming from mobile devices, it's only going to start showing to mobile devices. Then Facebook starts optimizing again, and it looks for which age group is clicking your ad. So if it sees that only an age group between 24 to 35 are clicking, then it's going to only serve to 24 to 35. The only way to override that is if you force Facebook to only advertise on Instagram, or if you force Facebook to only advertise on the desktop. So that's going to be our first campaign. Let's go ahead and create another. So that's the basics. I would go ahead and click on upload, and you're going to be able to upload that campaign. So you just do that with the green button. With that being said, let's go and I'll walk you through creating one more. Like I said, I want you guys to create 3, and we're going to do create campaign. We're going to do a desktop only. Okay, so you're going to want to go to your ClickMagick or your tracker, and you're going to want to set up a link for desktop only, because that way you know when you start getting conversions on tracker, then you know which ads to kill off and which ads to scale. That's why you need to track everything. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do clicks to website again. We're going to do desktop tracker. Go over here, create new ad, desktop tracker. All right, we'll go over here to the next step, and we're going to do a desktop only because desktop traffic is really good. It's going to be more expensive, I'll tell you that right now. Typically it is. We're going to also go broad on this ad, and we're going to do a similar age group. And then the next ad we're going to actually use targets. So the only reason why we're going broad on this, just to be clear, is because this is a product that can be used by a lot of people, because just about everybody has a mobile phone. If we were promoting a Star Wars product, or a good example is the Dr. Seuss product, we would not go broad because not everybody likes Dr. Seuss. Even though a lot of people do, this is something more of a universal. So universal products you can usually go broad on and usually get really, really cheap clicks. So I like products that you can go broad on because that's where you start getting 5-cent clicks. We're actually running this tracker campaign on our main accounts, and we were running at about 4 cents a click, which is just insane. So imagine and I want you to think about this, imagine putting an opt-in page in front of that at 4 cents a click, collecting opt-ins and monetizing those leads. So that's just something to keep in mind when you do get cheap traffic, is put an opt-in page in front of it. So we're going to go to 40 again. And with Facebook ads, there's really no right or wrong answer. We test all day, every day. I could show you millions of examples and be recording millions of videos for you guys of just all the testing that we do, but I want to give you a basic outline so that you understand it. We're going to also be putting good content in the group as well, and good training, because there's just so much that goes into testing. It's hard to show you every possible scenario. So we'll go ahead and click on save. And when I go crazy testing, I end up setting up an ad for Canada, and I split test out by country, because you don't want to mix it. Once again, mixing is bad. You want to really just narrow it down and say, I want to test this country, I want to test this 5-year age group, I want to test this specific interest. There's just so much that goes into it. Once again, $5. And we're going to basically take off everything here. Now, it's up to you. If you want it just to show up in the newsfeed, you can, because we have desktop, right column. Since we just said desktop, we're going to do right column and newsfeed, even though it's most likely going to optimize towards this right column because it's cheaper than the desktop newsfeed. But we're going to see what happens. So that's something to keep in mind. What you may want to do is, after we create this ad, is you can go and create one with just a desktop newsfeed. That's like the best quality of traffic you can get, is desktop newsfeed. So we'll go over here to number 4, our next step here. Well, yours will say something different based on how many ads you have. And once again, you're going to choose your page, and you're going to want to do a similar ad copy. You can change it up here and there if you want to test, but you're going to do a similar ad copy to what we used before. So you're going to say something like, never lose your keys. You're going to put in your website URL. We'll go ahead and paste it. So that's where you would grab it. Let's go back and grab it. Now, another thing that you guys can do, and I forgot to mention this, I should mention this right now, is you can use sub-IDs. So if you're not using ClickMagick but you want to test out sub-IDs, that's internal with Max Bounty. You can create a sub-ID that says desktop right call, right? And then now when I click get tracking code, There we go. Now I have a sub ID, and I can go into my reporting and I can see if I'm getting conversions from, I can see where my conversions are coming from. Are they coming from desktop? Are they coming from mobile? So this is very important, understanding sub IDs within Max Bounty. So we'll go ahead and copy that. Okay, and same thing with the display URL. And it's really easy, it takes a matter of seconds to create a sub ID. Text, once again. So we're going to say, are you always losing your keys, phone, or wallet? We're going to take out the word probably and I'm going to say you really need this because you want to be confident in your ads. So, are you always losing your keys, phone, or wallet? You really need this. And then bam, call to action. So this would be your call to action. You really need this, telling the user. And then once again, if you want to split test headlines, you can. I usually leave it like that. Everything looks good, and then you're going to click upload. So I think you get the idea. The next thing you could do with this campaign, I'm not going to do a full walkthrough because I think you get the idea now, and I'll be doing another campaign with you with the Dr. Seuss and showing you some targets. But I would go through now and create one, clicks to website, or do a PPE ad, a post-page engagement, which is really good. And this time I would do one with targets. So then I would put something like targets tracker. And then this campaign, I would choose targets. So let's go ahead, instead of going broad and letting Facebook optimize, let me walk you through selecting targets. Okay, so here we are. We're going to go ahead and choose some targets. The best thing to do to find targets is go and look at the landing page. And I'm going to show you what you can do. So pull it open, do some research on Tracker or the product you're promoting, and this is pretty nice because it gives us some places where this has already been featured. 9to5Mac, TechCrunch, Indiegogo, Crowdfund Insider, and I'm not sure what this is, but it's been featured on a few different big websites. So why don't we try using those as targets to start? These are all technology targets. So perfect. We're going to come over here, go to Power Editor, edit our audience. Once again, we're going to change the daily budget to 5. So let's see, we want to do 9to5mac.com, and sure enough, there it is. There was also TechCrunch. See if it comes up. There it is. Oh, it's a big one right there. All right. Well, we'll put it in for now and see what happens. TechCrunch. Now, what I like about Facebook is after you put in a couple of interests, it's going to suggest some others for you. So like Wired, Dig, the Huffington Post, Mashable. So these are all very relevant, like Reddit. But it just depends. Our audience size is really already very large. Let's move this up to, once again, 25. And let's go back over here and see if we can get any other targets. This is just one way. Looking at the landing page, sometimes you can see not every product is going to be featured. So another thing you could do to find targets is you can even go to Google and type in Tracker, see which websites it's been featured on, or so I'll show you that example. We'll type in Tracker, and you can see you're going to get a lot of the official sites that come up, like Amazon. You don't want to use those for your targets; those are too broad. But there's like Crunchbase, Gizmag. So a lot of you're starting to see that these are featured on a lot of technical or technology sites. So technology is the category that it goes under. What you're probably going to like even better is coming over here, which is our ads manager, going to tools and going to audience insights. Now I'll be doing a video specifically on audience insights, so you'll have to stay tuned for that. But those are just some ways to start picking targets until you watch the audience insight videos, which I'll go into detail on that. So that's kind of a basic rundown, and then now you would save that and continue finishing your ad. So that's kind of the basics of setting up the campaign. Don't worry too much. That's just an overview. I'm going to go in and show some more examples and show how you can pull more targets. So we'll see you in the next video.